friends, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's TBR video. I am so excited for today's TBR video because I feel like a lot of the books on my physical TBR I've kind of been saving for this time of the year, so I'm really excited. I also switched out my TBR jar to this really cute like Halloween, October-ish, fall themed bucket, and I went ahead and put all of my prompts in there already, so she is ready to go, and it's just so freaking cute. It's very on theme if you ask me, so I'm very excited. As always, I'm going to be pulling 5 prompts from my jar here, but if you're wondering how I did with my September TBR, here's the result. I think I only read 1 book again. I really need to lock in on my monthly TBRs and stop forgetting about them, but I feel like I say that every month, and I really am just like a mood reader at heart, and I really just read whatever I want, but I really need to stick to my monthly TBRs because my physical TBR is getting out of hand, and I feel like that's partly because I'm not reading the books that I say I will. So hopefully we pull 5 really good prompts and I pick 5 really good books that I really want to read because I need to do better at sticking to my monthly TBR. Also, before we get started, what I'm really hoping for is like a good mix of fantasy, vampires, like spooky books, horror books, thriller books, and maybe some romance because I cannot go without romance. So let's go ahead and do our first prompt for October. A young adult. Okay, I feel like I have a lot of young adult fantasy books that I've really been wanting to get to, so let me take a look real quick. Okay, the 3 young adult fantasies that I have to choose from is Renegades by Marissa Myers. I have heard such good things about this book. It's basically like a superhero fantasy, but they're teenagers. And then I have Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I believe this is a young adult fantasy. I'm not too sure on this one. I'm gonna have to double check and make sure that it is YA. And then my last option is Legendborn by Tracy Dion, which I think has like magic systems and stuff in it, so I don't know which one to choose. I'm really leaning towards Renegades because it just sounds so fun. Like superhero teenagers just sounds so fun, and the cover is so cool, and I've heard really good things about it. It's just kind of chunky. It's like 400 pages. I don't know. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with Renegades by Marissa Myers because I am just so intrigued by this book. So I'm gonna go with Renegades by Marissa Myers for my young adult prompt. Okay, on to prompt 2. A book with sprayed edges. Okay, I actually don't think I have too many of those, but I do have a couple, so let me grab them. Okay, I actually only have 2 books with sprayed edges, and that is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and then I have The Stars Are Dying by Chloe. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to say that, but these are my 2 options for a sprayed edge. Red Queen is like a classic book talk book that like everybody loves. And then this is actually a book that my husband bought me for our anniversary, and I've really been wanting to read this. I am very intrigued by the cover and like what it says on the back. Basically it says 500 years ago something changed. Everyone felt it, like the world was cracking, like something had stepped into the realm that was never supposed to be there. I think everyone knew the golden age the Star Maiden had ushered in was about to be shaken, like the stars that began to die out. I don't know about you, but that sounds really good to me. And it's just such a beautiful book, if I'm being honest. Like, let me take the dust jacket off for you. It is a stunning book. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I think that is the easiest choice yet. Like, look at that book. Oh my gosh. And like the edges. Whoever made like the art and stuff for this book, you have outdone yourself. The only thing is that I have seen that the Goodreads reviews and ratings for this book are usually bad, but I'm not gonna let that persuade me and change my thoughts about it. So I'm gonna read it for myself and see what I think about it. So I'm really excited for this one. Again, it's a stunning book, so I hope I like it. My TBR is such a mess, by the way. I really need to just like get through some of them or find a better way to organize them. But let's go ahead and do prompt 3. A first book in a series. Okay, I have lots of those. I have lots of unstarted series, and I have lots of series that I am in the middle of, but it says I have to pick a first in a series. So I guess I will be starting It's a new series this month. Let me see what I have. Okay, I actually know what book I want to read for this prompt, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I honestly don't know what the series name is for this book, but I know that this is the first book in that series, and I talked about this book in my last video, and I am just so excited to read it. It sounds so interesting, and it sounds like it's well written. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to be very trope heavy. I feel like it's going to be a really good plot focused, character driven book. I'm really excited for this one, and I just feel like it's going to be good. Like, I just have that feeling from looking at it, if you know what I mean. So definitely want to get to this one this month, and who knows, maybe I'll even continue the series at some point. So for a first book in a series, I'm going with The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. And then let's do our fourth prompt. A one-word title. How fun. Okay, I have 3 options for a one-word title. The first one is Legendborn, which is the YA fantasy series. And then I have Rebecca. And then I have Mating by Norman Rush. And I don't really know what this book is about. All I know is that it's a literary fiction. And the back says a complex and moving love story, which has me really interested to see what this book is about, because I really have no idea what it's about. I think I just randomly thrifted this book and haven't picked it up since. But I also really want to read Rebecca. Like, I've heard so many good things about this book. I believe it is a classic love story where she ends up marrying this guy that she barely knows, and it's not the love story that she thinks, is what I'm getting from what I've heard about it. But this one I've heard is just such a classic and such a good book to read. But this one is really like catching my attention right now, and like, when else am I gonna pick up this book or like think about this book? So I'm really torn between which one I should do, because Rebecca, like, October just seems like the perfect month to read Rebecca, and maybe this is just like a love story and I can read it whenever. Holy shit, the text for this book is tiny. I think that kind of like decides it for me. I think I'm gonna go with Rebecca by Daphne Du Maurier. I did not realize how tiny the font was in this book. I don't know if I'm ready for that book yet. So I think I'm gonna go with Rebecca for my one-word title. Again, I just feel like October is the perfect month to read this book, and I am just so excited to really see what this book is about. So I'm gonna go with this one for a one-word title. There is a book that I really wanted to get on my October TBR. If I don't get it, I think I'm just gonna add it anyways. So let's do our last prompt and see if we can get that book with a prompt. A cozy fantasy. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. This is the book that I really want to put on my October TBR. Is that a cozy fantasy? It's kind of giving cozy fantasy. I think it's the closest thing to cozy fantasy that I have, if I'm being honest. I just don't know if it's gonna be very cozy. But I mean, come on, they have a book club and they're slaying vampires. Let me take a look and see if I have anything else that is closer to a cozy fantasy. Okay, the other 2 options I have for this prompt is The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. Definitely getting the cozy fantasy vibes from this one. And then I also have this book called The Miniaturist, and basically up here it says that 17th century Amsterdam comes alive in this meticulously researched, enchantingly told tale. That really has my attention, but again, I really want to read this book. I just don't think it's a cozy fantasy. I think it's a fantasy, but I don't think it's gonna be cozy compared to like these two. These 2 are definitely giving me cozy fantasy vibes. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go with The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I just feel like that has both cozy and fantasy elements to it, and I want to stick to the prompt. So I'm gonna go with Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic for a cozy fantasy. But I do think I'm gonna go ahead and add the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires to my October TBR as well, because I make the rules around here and I want to read this book in October, so I'm putting it on my October TBR. So I actually ended up with 6 books on my October TBR. Let's go through them really quickly. The first prompt I had was a young adult fantasy. I went with Renegades by Marissa Myers. And the second prompt I had was a book with sprayed edges. I went with The Stars Are Dying by Chloe Penarata. And again, this book is just stunning. And then the third prompt I had was a first book in a series. I went with The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. And the fourth prompt I had was a one-word title. I went with Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I just, again, feel like October is gonna be the perfect time to read this book. And then for my last prompt, it was a cozy fantasy, and I ended up going with The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brienne Randall. This one just looks like the perfect fall cozy read, so I'm super excited for this one. And then I also added one more book because I literally want to read this book in October so bad, and that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Like, that is just the perfect October book in my opinion. I think this is the one I'm most excited for. Anyways, these are the 6 books that I ended up choosing with my TBR prompts for October's TBR. If you have read any of these, I would love to hear your thoughts on them, or if they're on your TBR, I would love to know that as well. And maybe you guys can convince me to actually stick to my monthly TBR. And if you see a book on here that you think I should read ASAP, please let me know. Or if any of these are your favorites, I would just love to hear your thoughts on them. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye!